Welcome everyone, Costin here with a discussion about Age of Mythology Retold, playing as Isis over here to show you how to get to the heroic age as quickly as possible. So okay, we do want to get that granary ASAP. We want to get two, actually we want to get one over there and one woodworker, just for a bit. And then the rest of them will be going as food, on food. The purpose of this particular build is to get to age free as quickly as possible playing as Isis, because you do absolutely have the capability. Now, why do you want to get to age free as quickly as possible? The simple reason is that tier 2 Egyptian units can leave a lot to be desired. So what you really want to get as the Egyptians are a bunch of Chariot Archers. So getting over there would be a fairly substantial benefit if you are playing as Egyptian. So I'm not necessarily going to get to age 2 as quickly as I possibly could, but I am going to get to age free as fast as I possibly can. Alright, so we got 2 of them on gold over there. We wanted the wood for pickaxe, and I'm just going to start researching that right there to start getting some gold. I am not necessarily going to keep those gold workers on gold over there, although you obviously can. You don't really need to worry too much about wood initially, right? Just that initial bit of wood will sort you out in the initial stages of the game, because you just need that one upgrade. So just keep training workers over there. Okay, and we just want to make sure we keep training workers over there. You can also get the Flood of the Nile if you want to. That can give you a trickle of food. That can be useful, but keep in mind you are going to need a monument over here. Let's just transfer that. Maybe put the Pharaoh over there to help with the construction. Pharaohs are really good for this purpose. Like, this is one of their principal benefits, really. Construct stuff faster. Okay, so we got a bunch of pigs over here. Alright, just start getting that favor benefit. And yeah, just get the chicken. Use your town center to kill your initial deer, by the way, because, like, well, obviously, there is some food degradation respected to all of this. It will prove useful. Okay, get the temple. You don't need to rush it. You don't need to rush construction over there. Okay. All right. At the moment, I'm just going to want 20 workers, exactly 20 workers. Before I age up. Okay. Put them on gold. All of them, and we are going to go with Anubis. Right, over here we want to get... We want to get that house. Keep your Pharaoh on that one benefit. Once this is constructed, I just want to spread them apart, because if you put all of them on the same gold mine, it will hurt you. So over here, now is the time. Switch the Pharaoh up. You can get the relic gathering capability over there. And yeah, we want to get that Flood of the Nile. So siege is gonna be cheaper. That has a pretty sizable benefit. Keep your villagers working over there. Okay, we got our first Anubite. And start getting workers. Okay, we're gonna start making a market and a blacksmith. Get that market ASAP. We don't have the food, but we do have the gold. Almost. Alright, so 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Keep in mind, a lot of people start moving into H2 at like, or get to H2 in like okay, and now we can go with Neptis. Okay. Now you want to put your guys back on food. Some of them, if not all of them. The goal here has been largely accomplished, so we just move them back on those resources. Get the woodcutter ability over there, and we're getting to age 3. Send your scout, one of the significant benefits that you do have. Start getting some upgrades, damage, resistance. You still want a good amount of wood. You still want a good amount of food workers. And, like, yeah, and gold workers, rather. Okay. So now we're 6 minutes 57. 7 minutes. Possibly could have handled that a bit better. Undeniably so, but about 7 minutes and roughly 12 seconds. And that is essentially it. We're gonna sell some of that food, and we're gonna start getting a Migdal stronghold. We want a lot of them to start working. We don't need, really, to get a whole bunch of anything other than... Okay. Put them back, get that gold gathering capability. And start pumping out Chariot Archers. That is really what you're aiming over here for. And yeah, get some houses. Okay. So you can see that AI is in H2, but they're not in H3. And one of the things to keep in mind over here is not just the fact that, you know, you got to... not just getting to H3 in like 7 minutes or so, right? 7 minutes, 10 seconds, all that kind of stuff. But rather also the fact that you have these free god powers that are going to, like, I'm not fond, to put them mildly, of like the snakes over here. But you will have myth units, you will have some of those snakes. I am struggling a bit with lumber, but that's fine. I can always reassign these villagers to work on wood. I'm gonna keep a couple of them over there. And now we can start piling on the pressure. And even better, one of the things you can do as the Egyptians is you can start getting a siege workshop over there. Yeah, you can see that they're bringing in some of the big guns over there to try and stop me. I'm gonna have to bring my Pharaoh right here. And your Chariot Archers are such a fantastic unit
Rig.
to use in a lot of situations. Because they can do a lot of damage. They can punch way above their weight. And you can get that upgrade right there very, very quickly. Now we can leave the Scorpion Man to handle the giant right there and instead start harassing them. Start harassing their gold mines. Like in the case of the AI, yeah, they're not gonna do very, very well with that. Get those siege works sorted. Sell some of the food and start getting siege towers. Like this is the thing. Oh, the enemy is hiding behind the fences, right? How do I deal with that? Well, you have great siege. Like that's the thing. That's one of the advantages of playing Egyptians is like, yeah, you have great freaking siege available to you. So once the enemy is in this kind of position, you just start pumping out those siege towers. And you can even get myth units if you want to, because yeah, you got stuff. You know, Scorpion Man, priests, name it. You have those resources available. And yeah, we can get some houses available right here. You can also save some favor. Also, if you want to screw over your opponent, build a freaking monument right next to their base to just really screw them over. And don't underestimate the combat capability that a siege tower has against human opponents. They're squishy, but they're pretty solid. Now, this will, like the chariots can deal with a lot of things. It might be weak against, I would say it's probably the weakest against the Greeks. The reason is that Greek heroes would be harder to deal with in some ways. Okay. Let's get some guys on berries. So 13 minutes, the siege line extends. Now, I didn't necessarily bother with relics or anything like that, right? So that is a bit of, like, my poor micro at play right there, or rather macro. Okay. Let's see if they have a town center. You can also save up, obviously, for, you know, like, if the initial rush doesn't necessarily work, I'll tell you what you should do. Go H4 and burn them down in meters. Like, if you think that the enemy defenses are going to be too strong to make them, you know, put as much pressure as you want, isolate them in the base, get fought, blow up the base, essentially. That's the strategy, the winning strategy over there that will genuinely win you the game. And those siege towers, geez. That's it. I literally killed all of them. 14 minutes, 25 seconds. I got to H3 in 7 minutes. So in about 7 minutes and a half, roughly, you can start, you know, getting like, and less than 8 minutes. You can get Chariot Archers, harass the enemy. Again, a lot of people are only getting to H2 in 4 minutes. Now, they'll probably try and harass you, but keep in mind, you don't need to expand outward. Like, worst push comes to shove, right? You can't get the second gold mine because the enemy has fast-moving units, or you're dealing with a Poseidon player who's got centaurs. His first centaur, he's harassing. Well, honestly, your Pharaoh will kill that first centaur. Just assign him to that. But if you can't get the second gold mine to, spread out your villagers, just assign them to food, right? The reason you want everyone on gold is it's faster gathering. But if you have some food, right, it's still pretty good over there. And then reassign to wood. This is a really good strategy. You avoid dealing with, like, who gives a shit about barracks over here when you can get this, right? And there's few counters that would be available to this. If your opponent has Minotaurs, if he's rushing Minotaurs, then yes, you might need to get priests to support your guys. Keep in mind, don't underestimate Scorpion Men over there. I mean, and it's not just a question of like, oh, I'm going to use Chariot Archers. You don't have to use Chariot Archers. Chariot Archers are a nice benefit because they're fast, they can harass the economy, isolate them, force them to play defensively, giving you map control to give you more gold, more hunts, and all that. If the opponent, however, has a bunch of fast-moving units, you have camels. You have access to camels. That initial burst of power that you'll get from getting to tier 3, like, again, snakes are not particularly great, but you combine snakes with that raise dead, with Chariot Archers, there's a substantial amount of freaking power. And with those 2 myth units you have, and whatever else you might want to recruit along the way. And, I ignored the Necropolis and Feet of the Jackal, but, there are options over here that would work very, very well. It's kind of a shame Scorpion Men do cost wood. If they cost gold, it would actually work a lot better in the army composition. Like, if I was spamming Scorpion Men and Chariot Archers, holy shit, that would be strong. But yeah, this is Isis. Ridiculously strong god. And there's a reason she's doing decently well. I wouldn't say she's doing the best in multiplayer, but I think, like, she's not the best in, like, the overall rankings, but at the higher elo, she's actually doing quite well. Costin signing out.